Hello and welcome to episode 50 of Fallen Dragons. I'm here with 4 of my players, and I'll throw it over to them and let them tell you who they are and what they do. We'll start with Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm playing Kenna. She is a tiefling and she's a multi-classed fighter and bard.
Then next to her is LaFall.
Hello, I'm LaFall, playing a half dragon, half human. I'm fighter champion class, and I'm their protector. I keep them out of trouble, keep them out of fights. And I hear I have a big one that I got to resolve very quickly.
Yeah, we'll see how much you've been keeping up with what's been going on. Then below will fall is Korai.
Hello. I play Korai, who is a dark elf cleric, and the group's doctor. And I notice y'all haven't been brushing your teeth.
So, and over from Korai, we've got Jinx.
Hi, I'm Will. I play Jinx, and I might knock out a few days if this keeps up. For some reason, I can't seem to keep an accent with him.
It's okay. When I was before we started playing this, you guys invited me over. I was looking to see like how do what accents and stuff a dark elf would have, a drow would have, and stuff like that. And nobody could. They couldn't really come up with anything.
I don't think they do. Like, maybe if the Underdark was like underneath France, they would like have a slight, yeah, they'd have a slight French accent, but
I'm barking your general direction.
Not that kind of French.
Yeah.
Or Australian. I mean, down under.
Down under, yeah.
That's probably the oldest joke. But all the video games where I've heard them do voices for drow, they don't tend to have an accent or anything.
It's weird how a lot of fantasy characters are British, of some form of British.
Well, I guess.
I admit I'm trying to go for Ozzy Osbourne with my guy.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Yeah, it's not going over too well.
No,
Okay, wait a minute.
We can understand what you're saying. You're making too much sense to do.
Well, that's one thing, but also, is he famous for biting the head off a bat or something?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that's supposedly how he got his first record deal.
Okay.
There are so many weird stories about Ozzy Osbourne.
And then the fans caught on, and they kept throwing rubber ones up on stage, and he's like, I'm not biting the head off of another bat, whether it's real or fake.
Yeah, he had to get tons and tons of shots because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually did it. That wasn't a story.
Yeah, he actually did it.
Yeah, he did that.
But some people had a bat that they caught, and supposedly it was dead. They threw it up on the stage. He picked it up and bit its head off.
Is that is that in the moment, or is like a cocaine is a hell of a drug kind of thing, or what?
I think it's a cocaine is a hell of a drug kind of thing because
Right,
Ozzy was
yeah.
on everything known to man.
It must be one of those things where you do enough drugs it acts as a preservative.
Pretty much with Ozzy. I mean, they did a DNA scan of him, and they found out that he is immune to alcohol. He cannot get drunk off alcohol, or it takes a lot more alcohol than the average person to get drunk.
Well, that's helped him in the career he picked.
Yeah,
Clearly.
definitely. Oh, and welcome to the Ozzy Osbourne Hour, everybody.
Well, yeah.
No,
Dude,
I brought it up because I thought it was funny because in Second Life we all know he was batty, so
Yes.
well, he can't even keep his own accent half the time. Yeah. So we left off last time. We will do a quick switch, and Melody's character will go in the wagon, and LaFalls will come out. Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
I'm not picking either of them up.
Well,
No, not after the 3 failed physical checks trying to get him into the cellar in the middle of the storm. No.
Right, yeah. Well, no. We'll say that when the guy took the wagon to the livery for the night, LaFall woke up.
Wondered where the hell she was.
Right. And now she's at the inn across from the castle with the rest of you guys.
You'll have to ignore the bird feathers. We may have piled some stuff on top of you to make everything fit in the wagon.
So,
Oh, geez, thanks.
yeah, well,
I made sure everything was out of your all's way, but you had piled everything on top of me. Okay.
Okay, well, listen. Dark elves are small to begin with, okay? We couldn't really put you on a diet, so we were just kind of stuck.
Oh, wow.
I've had a long day with dogs. It's been I'm a bit cranky with the power keep going out.
and you have been told by the royal guard not to leave town
Oh, that's right.
because when you delivered the princess to the king, she became seriously ill, and people are trying to figure out why. And given the fact that you guys were the last people to see her, they want to ask some questions. Because if this goes bad, it could start an incident between Gelborn and Canamir, and nobody really wants that.
Or do they?
Well, that may be one thing that you might have to find out. But you guys wake up the next morning and, you're woken up by an employee of the inn that comes by and knocks on each one of your doors. And informs you that whenever you're ready, breakfast is available downstairs. And, you hear this person stop at each door and then walk off. What do you guys do after that?
I stretch my wings, yawn a little bit, and gonna just get up. Gotta get going, you know.
I take my time about getting out to bed and everything. 'Cause I'm a bit hungover, even though I didn't get, handed out of my mind last night. I did get drunk enough that I've got quite a bad headache today, so I'm sort of moving a bit slow.
Okay. What about the other two of you?
Oh, I'm gonna take my time too because I had a nice little dream about the guard on the left and how cute he was.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm coming out of the stable wagon area and I'm looking around saying, what the hell are we back in the city for? We should be gone.
Well,
Oh, look, the grumpy one is awake.
and so the 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 rest of you fill in with fall on what's been going on.
Well, they're
Same
at
here.
the inn. I'm at the stable. So,
Well, no, I'm saying that when the employee took the horses to the livery for the night, you woke up.
okay.
So, I'm assuming you made it back to the inn because it's the only place nearby that has places to sleep. Unless you want to sleep outside again.
Well, it's better than most places, sleeping outside.
Well, this is the inn that you got the, entire body massage the last time you were here, so.
Right.
Why do you remember that?
So, but if you're sleeping outside, you are awakened when the sun comes up.
Yep.
So with everybody sort of taking their time to wake up today, do you head inside the inn and try to get food, or what do you do?
Well,
Or do you?
considering they buried me and everything else, I'm gonna go get a bath.
Okay.
Go jump in the river.
Well, we can say that well, actually, you could literally jump in the ocean at this point. You're in the capital of Gelborn, which is on the coast road. The ocean's like 5 minutes from where you are. So, if you want to go clean off, you can do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Considering that I know most of the others here are probably still sleeping even after sunrise for another good hour, 2 hours, I got my enjoyment for 2 hours at the beach.
Yeah. You can easily head down walk down to the coast and do what you want to do for a while.
Yep.
So, are you good? Well, Jenks is up and awake. Are you gonna head downstairs for breakfast or?
Yep, I'm going to go down and get some fresh fruit.
And so that leaves Kenna and Corai. What are you two doing?
I'll head downstairs as well. Need some coffee.
Yeah, I could use some too. I'll put some. I'm gonna leave my armor in the bedroom this time.
So the three of you meet up in the hallway and head down to the tavern section of the inn. It's early enough that you're able to find a table.
Well, hi guys. Well, hi everyone. How you doing?
No? Oh, all right, I guess. How are you?
I'm all right. Say, did you happen to notice the angry guards who wouldn't let us leave the town last night?
God. I suppose. Don't really remember.
Oh well, you had a better night than I did.
No. I need the three of you to give me a perception roll.
I did put clothes on.
Which dice do I want? Okay, here we go.
I rolled a 4.
23.
Mine is not. What the hell? Mine's not rolling for some reason here. There, jeez, there it is. 15. Oh no, 15 plus 7, 22.
Okay. Jenks is too busy trying to figure out if he can order something that won't hurt him.
That
but
will never get old.
but the two of you hear the conversations going on in the bar in the tavern, and they're all about how this visiting princess came to Gelborn, and then for some reason she's become seriously ill. This is a conversation because the guards are literally questioning everybody in town.
I'm just gonna try and lay low. Just kind of quietly wait for someone to come take our order. You know, like maybe hide behind a menu or something.
Well, uh, and so you guys look at the menu. which is 4 pages long because you can order almost anything. And you see the waitress come over. She's a Snow White elf. And she walks over to your table and says, what can I get you this morning?
I don't suppose you have any of that hot brown liquid that helps you stay awake, do you? I forget what it's called around here.
She's like, we don't really have a name for it. The humans call it coffee.
I have some of that. And just maybe some eggs and toast.
I can do that.
Well, I'll have some coffee as well, and eggs with 2 sides of bacon, please.
She writes that down, then walks over to Jinx, says, are you ready to order too?
Yeah, I'd probably like to have the fruit salad.
Okay. Anything to drink with that?
Let's see. What juices you got?
What?
Well, the fruit juice, like apple or orange or something like that.
Well, I imagine we have leftover juice from where they made the fruit salad, but
I'll take that.
that works. And she says, should be back fairly soon with your food. And a couple minutes later, she does come back with the coffee and the tankard of fruit juice. She says, your food should be out in a few minutes.
Well, take your time, love. I got nothing else going on.
And she walks over to the next table. And about 5-10 minutes, a person comes out of the kitchen carrying the 3 plates with your food and sets them in front of you.
I'm just going to nibble at mine, kind of trying to keep an eye on the people that were walking around asking questions. Say that, did you all notice?
Oh, notice what?
The people asking questions about the princess.
Well, I'm sure everyone's a little curious about that. I mean, after all, she came into town, she got sick, and
I mean,
Right. It does seem rather strange. She was fine the whole time she was with us.
Well, we did eat at that one suspicious inn on the way over here.
oh, that
Well, we all did, though. None of us got sick,
Well, we're used to it.
I suppose.
True. Well,
There's something to that.
and she is a princess, and they do have sensitive stomach, so
Oh, the stereotyping is awesome.
well, I mean, if they can sleep on a bed that's like 5 mattresses tall and have a pea on the bottom of it and peel it, then I mean they gotta be sensitive, right?
Mm. I hope this isn't a fairy tale. We're all getting screwed.
No,
We
this is not a fairy tale. Although that would have been an interesting idea. But
we didn't intentionally feed anything to her, did we?
Oh,
No, of course not. But you know, if they ask us, they're going to ask us that. You realise, of course.
Of course. And it
But
looks bad
no,
because
we
we brought her
didn't.
here.
not true if we did. But at the same time, she could have eaten something out of the sack. She didn't know it was, or she could eat something that she found on the trip. Who knows what's going on? You know? I don't know.
I mean,
I'm,
I wasn't gonna say anything, but the last time when we were on the trip over here, I kind of walked behind when we stopped to take a break. I walked behind the wagon and smelled something a little bit off, and I just assumed it was, our two passengers who hadn't taken a shower in a couple of weeks.
well, I mean, we all haven't taken a shower in a couple of weeks, Rob. You gotta be a little more specific than that.
so while you guys are having your breakfast and having this conversation, LaFall walks into the inn and sees you sitting over the three of you sitting over at the table.
Oh, hey. Good.
Oh, look who's awake. I thought we were gonna
Yeah.
have to dig a hole at this point.
I don't know how many times I came close to digging a hole for you.
Oh, probably quite a bit, knowing me.
Yeah, just from breakfast alone.
But the one you don't see is Melody's character.
She's still sleeping on the wagon.
So, what the hell are we doing in the city still? I thought we were gone.
Well, we did leave. Now we came back.
Why
We
did
had
we
to
come
drop.
back?
We dropped off a princess, and the princess kind of got sick, and we are kind of getting blamed for the situation.
Mhm.
Why the fuck did we come back? Bring her back. She had her own garb at that time. Then.
Listen, this is a lot of questions. If you'd have been awake for this whole thing, we wouldn't have to explain it.
Well, I'm sorry I had to be awake 24/7 for 5.5 months for you to cover your butts.
So basically, the reason you brought the princess here is because the king paid you 500 gold apiece to do it.
No, it was 250.
But now you've gotten yourselves into a bit of a bind. In fact, the waitress, seeing LaFall sit down, the waitress comes over and is like, "Can I get you anything?"
Yeah, double platter of everything. I'm starving.
She looks at you and goes, "Okay, that'll take a little bit, but we can do it." And she turns and walks away. While she's getting your food, three guards dressed in royal tabards walk in the inn. They stop and chat with the bartender, and then they walk over to your table. And the person who seems to be the leader of the group says, not to interrupt your breakfast, but you are wanted for an
I just hold up
audience.
my finger to him real quick and do the turn around and then point for him to leave. Not now. We'll come up there, but not now.
He's like, we're being nice enough to let you finish your breakfast. The king requests that you show up.
We just ordered. Not now.
Well,
We'll be up there.
just be sure that you are.
Oh, we will be. We figured you'd be calling us eventually anyway, so don't worry, we'll attend.
And the three of them turn and walk back out the door.
You do realize we're in their city. What do you want to make them mad for?
I'm not making him mad.
Oh, I think you might have.
Well, you
No.
certainly didn't tickle them.
I was polite and asking them to turn around and leave.
Okay, remind me not to ask what your impolite is, what your rude is.
Correct, yes.
Um,
Stay on
I
Paul's
thought
good
you all
side.
would have noticed by now. I am a dragon. What do you think my root side would be if I asked someone to depart?
I'm assuming it involves breath weapons.
Nah, not quite yet. It involves a chomp.
Well, it's fine. I guess they seem to be willing to tolerate it for now, but maybe brush your teeth before we go over there so we can be a little bit nice.
I've already taken a bath. Done all that stuff. Thank you very much.
so, you guys sit and chat about what you're gonna do for a little bit, and then the kitchen staff starts bringing out plates and basically lines them up in front of LaFall. Yeah, they can barely fit all the plates on that part of the table, but they do.
Someone's hungry.
And the waitress comes back over and says, can I get the three of you anything else?
I think I'm all right, thanks.
I'm good here, love, but thanks anyway.
I think I'm all right. I don't want it to be too full before we go do this.
She's like, okay. If you decide you need anything, just let me know. And she walks back to the bar. So, what do the three of you do while the fall is having breakfast?
I'm going to pull out my lute and start playing.
Give me a performance check.
Oh, goody.
What's your favorite?
9.
Come on. Come on, Jinx. One of these times
I
you
might
have
be-
to play a good song.
All I know is Freebird. I'm sorry.
People, the other patrons in the bar turn your direction and not with incredibly pleasant looks on their faces. They're like, "What in the world is this noise?"
Okay. I refrain myself from reaching over and plucking the out of tune wire
Oh my
now,
God.
at least.
At this point, if he hasn't told me he's tuned it in any length of time, they're all out of tune at this point.
I don't I'm
Please,
doing it.
please, Jinx, don't. Please don't.
Oh,
Just stop.
oh, sorry about that, love. I didn't mean to cause any guff. Oh,
Uh,
And once you stop playing, the rest of the people in the tavern go back to whatever it was that they were doing.
At least they didn't applaud that you stopped. Because you can be happy for that.
So by the time this little interlude is over, LaFall manages to get done with breakfast. I know, Cora, you said you were leaving your armor up in your room.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a joke.
Oh,
I didn't wait. No, she didn't. It was a reference to the ice giant thing where she went upstairs and got her.
So you guys get up and head out of the inn, and with the castle being across the street, the first thing you notice when you walk out the door is the abundance of guards around the castle.
More than there were last night?
Yeah.
Well, good.
In fact, you think possibly the only 2 guards left are the ones at the city gates, and the rest of them are basically right in front of you.
So,
Well, do we want to get this over with?
right. So,
I think we'd better.
Scale of 1 to 10. How screwed do you think we are, lads? Mates? I mean,
We
Well-
shouldn't be. We've done nothing. And as long as we can convince them of that, I think we'll be all right. But we've done nothing.
right.
I don't know
I
what
think
happened to the bloody princess, and honestly, I don't really care.
Well, she wasn't around to hear your singing, so couldn't be that. If nothing else,
So,
it's an alibi. Your bad singing and guitar playing, lute playing, is an alibi because everyone in the tavern knows we were there.
Right. Right.
well, this morning, yes.
Yeah, well, it didn't help us for last night, I guess. But I don't know. I'm a cleric, not a lawyer.
So, what do you guys decide to do?
Guess we ought to head towards the palace then, castle, whatever.
I don't really
I
feel
put-
like fighting our way out of this one.
I put my hands up in the surrendering motion. This is what you do, right?
Sure, if we want them to think we're suspicious.
Right, exactly. I think we need to just go on in there.
Oh, right.
You
right.
know, they've summoned us, so they're obviously expecting us. But just go in, answer the questions, and have done with it.
We didn't do
Well,
anything.
and maybe we can dispense with the hot air. I say as I look at LaFall.
What hot air?
Come on! Half dragon, fire, breath, hot, bluster. That was funny for the amount of money you're paying. That was a hilarious joke.
I'm not hot air. I'm a hot breath, but not hot air.
Cora, it doesn't seem like your jokes are going over today.
Guess not.
Yeah.
Dragons must have a different sense of humor.
Yep.
Question is, did dragons actually have a sense of humor?
Well, I suppose some of them might. I don't know.
I-
I've only met, really, aside from the fall, I've only met one other dragon.
I seem to remember a certain dragon cackling pretty loudly while she was carrying me away from another dragon against my will. She seemed to think that was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Okay, so there is a sense of humor.
So you guys walk over onto the grounds of the castle. A guard turns to see what the noise is and says, "Oh, you did decide to come after breakfast."
Well, I mean, we made a promise. We got to keep it, right?
Yeah, not like we had a choice.
The the king and his advisor would like to speak with you.
There's some good news.
All together or one at a time? Or how do you want to do this?
I think all together would be fine. And he walks over, opens the large door, and escorts you into the castle.
Okay, that's one.
And you walk down the hall, which the rest of you are quite familiar with because you've done this 4 times now. And
But look, they changed that painting by the front door.
Oh, yeah, they did. Oh, and what if we come in next one more time if we get free ice cream cone?
Oh, yeah.
and the guard stops you at the large wooden door that leads to the king and queen's audience chamber. And he escorts you in, and the king and his advisor are sitting there,
That's two.
and the
Is it
king
just
said,
the king and his advisors, nothing else?
at the moment, yeah. You
Okay,
mean
that's three.
you mean in the room?
Yep.
Yeah. At the moment, those two are the only ones there.
Okay, that's three mistakes.
And the king says, we have a serious problem.
Yeah, you do. Your security sucks.
If you get us killed, I'm going to come back from the afterlife and haunt you.
You might die, but I won't. But your
You'll
security
excuse
sucks.
me if that's no comfort to me.
So that's what your real issue is. Your security sucks, sir.
I have an entire town of guards standing around this castle right
Yeah,
now.
and it all sucks. Not one of them asked to disarm us before even entering the castle and then entering your chamber and then leaving us alone armed with you here. That's three mistakes.
We're not with her.
Oh my god!
Hey, I can cast sleep on her if you'd like.
You can try.
The 3 out of the 4 of you have been here multiple times.
Love, they're good people. We don't want to fight them.
I'm just pointing out issues, that's all. I've heard the rumor that there's a major issue and we're prime suspects apparently. Okay, if we're prime suspects, you don't want to have your prime suspects armed seeing their ruler.
She does kind of point, Your Majesty.
Well,
that said, please carry on.
Right now, I'm less worried about you than trying to fend off issues with the kingdom of Canamere where the princess came from.
Speaking of which, how is she doing?
She is currently unconscious.
Oh, that's not good at all, is it? Well, at least she's not dead.
If I might ask, when you say she felt ill, like what? I mean, did she just fall unconscious, or what were her symptoms before the unconsciousness?
She vomited twice and then fell unconscious.
I think Kenna did that last night.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. Might have done.
Right, so nobody poisoned her and sleepwalking, right? We all agree that at this point, right?
I greeted her myself. We showed her to her chambers. One of my attendants stayed with her. And I was later told that she vomited twice and then laid down and lost consciousness, and she has not regained consciousness since then.
Can we go into her room and investigate, my lord? Well, I know you probably think guards do it already, but you know,
Well,
we'll be able to find something.
I promise you, Your Highness, we didn't harm her.
what
She
I
was fine
what
when
I-
she was with us.
what I want to know is what happened along the way, if anything.
Well, we
Well-
kind of got lost a little bit and ended up at this nice little mountain inn. Met some giants. Ate some food there. We hopped back on the wagon, came on back down here.
She's not allergic to frost giants, is she?
The king turns to you and says, "Everybody's allergic to frost giants. Are you kidding?"
Although the strange thing is, with that whole thing with the giants, as my friends here can confirm, we were all up in the morning. She seemed to have slept through the whole encounter. She never even saw the giants. She didn't wake up early that morning. So I'm wondering if, I mean, she didn't seem sick or anything, but she did sleep in quite late.
It's true. She slept. Actually, if I recall, she slept quite a lot.
Yes.
Like
So,
almost unnaturally a lot.
But she seemed all right when we did wake her up.
Right.
so were you in this house by yourselves, or?
Oh no, there was a nice little
Old couple, yeah.
old couple there. Really nice. We talked a couple of giants out of squishing them.
Yeah, they apparently settled in the giants' land while they were gone,
Uh,
and the giants were not thrilled.
I can understand that. So, according to you, other than her sleeping a lot, there hasn't been anything out of the ordinary between Canamere and here.
She ate
No,
the same
that's-
foods we did.
That's right.
Well, I mean, besides your the original ambassador turning up dead, yeah, not much else.
Okay. Mm. Hmm. That doesn't really get us any closer to figuring out what made her sick, though.
Well, I think you should check under the bed, see if she tried something, or hid something under one of the pillows or something. Who knows what she did?
The scowl at our bard friend.
I'm just saying this might be a trap, and that she might have done this to herself somehow. And we're the fall guys. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that does make a certain amount of sense, but why would you do something like that?
Well,
Oh, it's because we wouldn't carry her luggage, wasn't it?
Oh, bloody hell. Wouldn't put it past her, actually, come to think of it.
or maybe your parents set this all up so there'll be a war.
Well, there's no
Yeah,
evidence of that. I mean, okay.
Well, I mean, there is none, but I'm just saying, if I was going to start a war, I would set up a bunch of fall guys and poison my daughter.
Not that you've ever done that, right?
Not that I've ever done that because, for one, I don't have kids. Because I think I'm sterile, but I'm not sure.
I'm sure the king wants to hear all of this.
Or perhaps, and I don't mean to, I'm not making accusations, I'm just putting this out as a possibility that perhaps somebody here in this castle knew she was coming. Maybe they even arranged to have the original emissary killed in his own hometown to get her here so they could do something to her. I mean, again, this is all speculation, but I'm just thinking perhaps nothing happened to her on the trip here, and it was only once she got here that she was brought down.
Well, you've only been here since last night. If anybody here did it, they would have had to have had things set up and ready.
Well, that's what I mean. Perhaps somebody did. I mean, you might want to question your own staff as well as everyone else, is all I'm suggesting.
well, we are questioning anybody who had any sort of contact with the princess at all.
Rightfully
So,
so.
fact, if we can find them, we'll even question the elderly couple you mentioned.
Oh, don't be too rough with them. They're very, very nice.
But
A wee bit on the confused side, but still very, very nice.
no,
Yes, just not too smart about where to set up house is all.
Yeah.
but you had said something about wanting to investigate her room.
Yeah, I thought maybe if we got a lucky Lou, that we'd be able to find some stuff. Well, maybe we'd find a vial or something that she hid.
You think the princess is in on it, or
Right. I think she's kind of in on it. Well, no, that sounds mean to say, but remember what her parents were like. You know, let's go back
they were kind and gracious, and weren't they?
Not according to everyone else in Calamere, they weren't.
Oh, well, they were kind to us. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, they were nice to you because you were taking their daughter with you.
Oh, so they wanted to get rid of their daughter.
Well, they're in on it as well. Who knows? Seems a bit of a mess, really.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it was all a trap.
Does anything look suspicious around us? Like, are the guards at ease? Are they nervous? Are they upset?
Well, they're naturally nervous because of what's going on. None of them seem to be upset, particularly at you.
That's a good thing.
The king says, as long as you take one of my guards with you, you are welcome to look in her room, with the stipulation that if you find anything, you bring it back to me.
Of course. I mean, why would we hide anything?
Oh. I wasn't counting on things going this way either. So,
Oh, I don't think anyone's planning on going it this way, sir.
so he makes a motion, and one of the guards from the back of the room step up, and the king says, "The guest room that the princess was staying in. You go down to the end of the hall, turn right. It's the first door on your left."
Is she still in there, or is she in the cleric's hospital at this point?
Um, we moved her to the cleric hospital this morning.
They didn't detect any spells or anything on her, did they?
I haven't spoken to them as of yet. They may still be doing an examination for all I know. That's the next thing on my list, is to see if they found anything. So, so what do you guys do?
I followed the guard to the guest room, but I get my left and right confused, so I take a right instead of the left turn.
So I'm following along after. I'm like, hey, Jinx, it's this way.
Right. Sorry about that. I tried to get me left and right confused. Don't tell anyone I said that.
So, the four of you get to her room, and the guard takes the key out and opens the door. And, and the guard says things left pretty much the way they have been. As the king has said, we haven't. We took her to the cleric hospital this morning, and nobody's touched the room since. So, if the four of you would like to investigate, I will be standing at the door.
Right.
So, anybody that wants to can give me an investigation check, but when you do, you have to tell me what you're investigating.
Yeah, well, has she got
Okay.
any like cosmetics or that sort of thing on the counter, on her dresser, or anything like that?
Yeah.
I'll investigate that to see if it looks like it's been tampered with or anything.
Okay.
Any food or drinks in the room?
There is a tray on the nightstand that has what looks like an empty goblet on it. And there doesn't look to be any like leftover food though.
I'm going to check underneath the pillow.
Okay. So 18 plus 3, 21. I'm sniffing the goblet to see beside what type of drink is in there and if there's any distinctive odors besides a drink odor.
You, the first thing you smell is wine, and and it's a fairly nice one. It's mellow, but you do smell sort of a sharpness at the end. Um, and Jinx, what did you get when you rolled?
Well, I didn't roll yet. I just got straight 9.
Uh, you lift up the pillow and there's nothing there, basically.
I'm gonna be that person, and I'm gonna cast detect magic. Walk to the center of the room.
Okay. And you looked at her cosmetics?
Right. And I got a nat 20.
Okay. Um, well, they do look like they've been used, but you notice that she always seems to use a lot of makeup.
Does it look normal? I mean, does it look like there's anything off about any of it, like by smell or notice, like sight or anything?
Not by smell, because the herbs used for makeup you're familiar with. So nothing seems off by smell. They do look like they've been sort of hurriedly jostled around. Like maybe she bumped into them or something like that. But nothing other than that. So what are you guys gonna do? Oh, Korai, you said you cast detect magic on the room.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna have to contest that. What did you get on your roll?
Oh, you want to do an investigation roll?
Yeah.
14.
Well, you cast detect magic and then you start looking around. There are traces of magic residue on the rug in front of the bed. But
Is that it?
but that's all the magic you're able to see.
Don't know that tells me anything. So there's some traces of, there's sort of a minor magic aura here. There's some, what is it? Just like pieces of something, or is it just like the carpet itself?
You know how when you step on carpet, it'll make a imprint in the carpet?
Sure.
That's what you're seeing. But the imprints in the carpet are like glowing around the edges. It is almost like somebody who was using magic for whatever reason was in the room at the foot of her bed.
And that's where they were standing when they used it.
Yeah.
But there's some traces of magic here. It's kind of hard to tell what happened. And it really could have been anything, actually. Now that I think about it.
You said something about the wine glass having kind of like a weird after smell to it.
No, not
Yeah.
yet.
That,
Oh,
Well, she did.
no, yeah, she did. But
well,
out of character, I was asking.
Okay.
well, yeah, I said that LaFall sniffed the wine and, you know, for the most part, it smelled like a nice mellow wine. And then there was a sharp note at the end, like somebody had mixed something or the wine itself was starting to go bad, or, you know.
All right.
Did you guys hear that? You hear that beeping?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my battery backup. I just lost power.
Ah.
Oh no, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. The house seems to hold heat pretty well, but I can stay on with you. I've got about 20 minutes before the batteries will die in the thing, but I
That's
probably
okay. I
need to
think
go.
we
I'm
got
really
about 20
sorry.
minutes left of game.
No, it's the fourth time today. I very much get the feeling that power is like it'll come back on. It takes about an hour, hour and a half to bring the power back on. I don't know what's going on, but it's the whole neighborhood. It's not just me.
Wow.
So, well, how cold is it up there?
At the moment, it is 12.
Yeah, it's the cold that's causing. The
Oh, I'm
problem.
sure it probably is. I moved out to the country when I bought the house, and it didn't occur to me that maybe the power grid might not be as robust as it was
Yeah.
in town where I used to live.
Right.
If power comes back, I'll hop back on, but I gotta get off. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Have fun.
Yeah, be safe.
Hopefully they will.
Mhm.
You be all right.
So, I walk over to LaFall. So, LaFall, I pick up the wine glass while I'm over talking with LaFall.
Yes.
So, it's okay if I drink this, right?
Um, it's hard to say because it might be rotten.
I mean, juice is juice. I pick
It's
it up.
not juice.
I drink it.
It's not juice.
There's no actual wine left in the glass.
Oh, there's no wine left in the glass.
What LaFall is smelling is the residue off the glass.
Oh, well, I was hoping there was some left because I just wanted to test if it was poisoned or not.
On yourself, really? Perhaps we ought to have somebody, like, I don't know, a cleric or
Yeah, I was
someone
going
like
to take it down to the
that
clerics to have them
test
check it.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe I ought to just bring a sample of her cosmetics as well, just to be on the safe side, have that looked at, because she could have bumped to the table, or maybe it's just disturbed because somebody stirred something in. So, well, I think we should bring some of that and the glass down to the cleric's temple and have them look at them.
Okay. So, are you guys done in here then?
Yeah, I think so. We should also tell the guard about the magic residue.
Well, no. The three of you start to walk out the door, and the guard goes out the door with you. Are you going to tell the guard anything, or?
Oh yeah, we'll tell him.
Yes, we were told to tell them if we found anything, so we ought to do so.
Um, he says, the guard's like, I will tell the king this, and your plan is to go over to the cleric temple and have these things checked.
Right.
Yes, just as a precaution, I don't think it would be a bad idea.
Oh, I will let the king know that also.
Just quick question before
Yeah,
you run off. Who brought the wine to the princess last night?
that would have been one of the maids. Uh, Probably the night shift maid.
And do you know where she is?
Yeah, she's in she's in her quarters, one level above where we are. The servants' quarters are on the second level.
Can you have people go and make sure that she doesn't disappear
Yeah,
in any way, shape, or form?
we we've all been informed that you know they're gonna be asking us questions throughout the next couple of days. So I would hope she would be smart enough to stay around, but I can have somebody make sure of that.
Yeah, because right now the wine glass itself is funky.
How do you mean that?
The smell of the residue is not right. So right now, this might be my number one contending issue.
Okay.
And if she was the one who brought it, then she is, I'm not going to say a prime suspect, but guilty by association at the moment
Mm,
until we can go from her to who actually poured the wine into the glass. If it was her, who poured it into the pitcher that she got it from, and so forth down the line to where possibly might have been affected knowing that it might go to the princess.
That's possible, I would suspect, because a lot of people handle the food and drink in this place.
Hmm.
So,
And knowing our traction, our tracks with running history and associations, the person that we always seem to be point at interest at always ends up somehow, some way, end up dead before we can get to him. After we've told someone to go watch her or watch him.
uh,
So,
that does seem somewhat strange. But But yeah, I will. After I report to the king, I will have another guard sent to her room.
Well, you can report to the king, but have a guard sent there right away.
Yeah, but we're standing in the middle of the hallway. There's nobody for me to talk to quite yet. I'm sure there'll be another guard with the king, so when I walk down to his room, down to the...
I can watch the maid.
Well,
I mean, until you get a guard, I can make sure she doesn't do anything or nothing happens.
well, you are welcome to, I guess. It's right up the stairway at the end of the hall, and that one would be the fourth room down on the left side.
All right.
So Jinx goes off to do this. You walk down the hall as far as the where you come to talk to the king, and the guard is like, I will go talk to the king while the two of you head to the cleric's temple, which is literally also across the street but at an angle. And no matter how the tests come out, let us know. Have
We will.
somebody come and tell us. With that, well, you have to come back and get Jinx anyway. So the two of you walk across the street as the guard goes into the king's chambers, and you walk over to the cleric's hospital. Which one of you knocks on the door?
I suppose I will.
You knock on the door, and this male dwarf dressed in cleric's robes answers the door. And he says, "Hello, I'm Brother Hawken. How can I help you?"
Have you got a staff member who could possibly run a few tests on some possibly suspicious items that involve your most recent patient? It's a bit of a delicate matter.
Yes, there is a cleric here that can run. What kind of test are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for any evidence of, tampering, like poison or possibly magical effects, something, see if these items have been tampered with in any way.
Well, yeah. Come in and wait here, and I will go get Sister Lydia, because she can probably help you. And yeah, he leaves you in what would be considered like a small waiting area. And in a few minutes, he comes back followed by a rather diminutive looking bluish green skinned sea elf. In cleric's robes with the insignia of the hospital on it. And she says, "Hello, I'm Sister Lydia. What can I do for you?"
Well, we've brought a few things that we'd like tested for any signs of tampering, poison, magical, anything that may have been done to them. If you could take a look.
And I assume you hand her the goblet and what was the other thing you guys had?
I brought her brought a sample of the
Oh,
cosmetics just
yeah,
in case.
the cosmetics.
And,
She says, "Let me take these back to my quarters and I will see what my magic can uncover, if anything." She takes them. She says, "If you want to wait here, I should be done in 15 minutes or so." Um, nothing. No. So you guys wait around for 15 minutes or so, people going back and forth. And she comes back. Couldn't find anything on the cosmetics. Strangely enough, for a princess to use, they were rather low quality, actually. The wine glass was a bit of a different story. There was a chemical in the residue of the wine that I found.
poison. Oh,
I guess you could call it that. It was done magically.
ah,
Um, like there was an actual second substance in the glass, but it was created magically, is what I'm saying.
Oh, all right. So wasn't like a normal sort of poison you'd find at an apothecary or anything?
A quite high level mage would have had to have done that. Would have had to have created that.
Okay. Would that have caused her to puke and go unconscious? By your opinion of what you detected and sensed?
Um, I would have definitely thought that it would have made her puke. Yes. The going unconscious part, I would seem to think that she must not have gotten all of it out of her system when she threw up, because there was apparently enough left in her system over time that she eventually passed out. The problem is being a magic spell or whatever this is. There's no real antidote that I know of.
That's what I was going to ask, whether you had any way of
Other than finding
countering
the
it.
wizard who did it.
That would be the easiest, yes.
Well, I don't know about easy, but perhaps the best. Probably won't be easy, come to think of it.
Perhaps the only. The prince, one positive thing is the princess does seem to be stable. Her condition is not getting worse at this point. Now, I can't say that it'll stay that way, but currently she's holding steady.
Right.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, at this point, I think I still think we ought to be looking closely at the palace staff here, but I don't know how we're going to go about that. Perhaps it would be best to have the king
more
question.
One more question.
Okay.
Do you know anyone mage-wise powerful enough to cast this who would have access to the princess?
You mean palace staff or just anybody in general in Solaria?
Anyone in general who would want to see you all go to war?
Well, the war part I can't help you with. The only person on the only people on the castle staff that would have that kind of power would be the king's advisor and the queen's advisor.
Oh, bloody hell.
But the king and queen themselves are sea elves. So, they have elven magic, but they wouldn't do, you know, they wouldn't jeopardize the princess themselves.
Right. Well, I think perhaps we ought to have the king question his advisor and his wife's advisor. I don't know if we need to be in on that, but he ought to be informed that perhaps he ought to speak with them.
Yeah. So, how do you want to go about getting this information to the king?
Well, as it's been said, we need to go pick up our little bat friend anyway, so
Well, yeah, that's true.
suppose we should just head back to the castle and we can. I mean, if the king is not available or we don't want to bother him, we could have one of the guards pass along the information.
Yeah.
In fact, that might be the best thing to do.
Okay. So, um, Jinx,
Yes.
while they went off to do that, you went up to the room of the maid that gave the princess the wine the night before. Did you attempt to knock on her door and try to go in her room, or did you just sort of?
Oh, I'm a polite bat. I knock first.
Okay. She opens the door and looks down and sees you, and it's like, what?
Oh, hello, miss. So the king and queen thought that you maids might like a little entertainment. So here I am.
She's like, the king and queen?
Yep, the king and queen.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
She,
Do I have to roll a deception?
yeah,
Yay!
I would if I were you.
All right, deception. That's a +3. So 15.
She got an 11 as a contested roll.
Yes.
So, for some unknown reason, she believed you. So she lets you in and closes the door. What do you do from there?
I start tuning my lute, and then I'm going to play Wonderwall by Oasis.
Okay.
17. For performance, that's a +3. I guess I know what band I'm playing from now on. That's a dirty 20.
She looks, you start playing this 20th century music, and she looks at you like, what wagon did you just fall off of?
You won't believe me if I told you, love.
So you get to the end of the song, and then you hear another knock on the door.
Right, I'm going to, excuse me 1 minute. Ladies and gents, I'm going to, I'll get the door for you. I mess up my hair. I try to mess myself up a little bit. I open the door. I kind of lean against it. I can't help you with anything.
Well, it's LaFall and Kenna.
Oh, it's you guys. Oh, uh, so, what'd you find out?
Well, apparently the wine was tampered with.
Okay. Well,
Magically, unfortunately.
well, nobody's been mucking around over here.
Hmm. So, what are the three of you going to do next?
Well,
Well,
I think I should stay at post in case something happens or you want to make probably something.
I'm going to find a guard and tell them what we discovered and have them pass it along to the king, along with the suggestion that he speak with their advisors.
Well, when you came back in the castle, you did that.
Oh, okay.
You did that before you came up to retrieve Jinx.
Oh, all right.
So,
I'm just gonna stay put here, loves, and hold out in case something happens.
well, it's been pretty much conclusively decided that unless the maid here has magical powers that you don't know about,
Mhm.
chances are it wasn't her in the end.
Right.
Um, so are the three of you headed out, or?
Yep. Yeah, I'll head out with them. Be safe out there, ladies, and be sure to tip your bards.
Well, I don't know about you lot. I'm going back to the inn and have a couple of tankards.
Oh, I could go for a dump myself. It's getting a little late,
Well, you guys, it's basically mid-afternoon by the time all this happens.
So lunchtime, yes.
I could get for a good meal, maybe a bath.
So the three of you head back to the inn. It's late enough in the afternoon that the staff has changed. And the waitress currently working the tavern, or at least one of the waitresses, is a certain Genasi that you were friendly with a few days ago. And she sees the three of you walk in, smiles at you, but is like, you know, sees that you have a new member in your group that she's not familiar with.
Oh, she's been with us for a while. She's just been sleeping.
She's like, and what would you guys like for lunch? Can I get drinks? Or...
Well, actually, I might skip lunch and just go straight to taking a shower, love. I hope you don't mind.
You're welcome to go up to your room and
Oh, thank,
do whatever you please.
well, thank you.
Honestly, I'd be happy with some bread pudding and some ale, please.
I can do that. And is your dragon friend hungry?
Um, I'll just take some 2 steaks.
I can do that. Anything to drink with those?
Just water.
Okay. So, Jinx goes up to take a shower, and in a couple of minutes, she comes back with the ale and the water. Says your food should be out in a few. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, she brings the 2 steaks and a large plate of bread pudding. And she's like, if you need anything else, let me know. And she goes over, take an order a couple tables over. So, given all of the information you've gotten so far today, what do you think? How do you think you should proceed?
Well, I, out of character, I think we should just wait for the guards to handle it.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Let the king and them all figure it out from here. Because I'm still thinking it's someone on the staff, possibly one of their advisors, which could be a whole mess we don't want to get into.
Right.
But really nothing to do with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with that. I got a feeling it's one of the Grand Viziers or something. Because it's always a Grand Vizier. They're
Well,
always plotting, planning something.
so if you are inclined to think that way, what do you guys want to do? You want to leave town, or what is it?
I don't know. We need to leave. I kind of want to find out how this goes, so I kind of want to stay in town while we figure. Well, everything
Right.
goes
Well,
down.
we can always stay in town and see if there's anyone else that needs an adventuring party to figure something out for them.
Hmm.
You know, just kind of hang about Solaria. It seems to be a nice place.
Well, there is a notice board up in the inn. There's always jobs that need done. Um, so,
'Cause, I mean, right now at this moment, my plan is to drink myself into a stupor.
If she does that, I'm not taking responsibility.
Never asked
if
you to, love.
I
if
always
she
have to, though.
if she what?
drinks herself into a stupor.
Well, you haven't got to take responsibility for me. I'm a grown tiefling.
Yeah, that can't get to her room after she's stupor.
So leave me on the bloody floor. I don't care.
The innkeeper has asked us to take you up to your room every single time because you just jump on anything.
I jump
Well-
on anything? What the hell?
Yes.
What? What do you mean? I jump on anything?
Anything that's walking with two legs, you start to jump on,
Do I?
dear. Yes.
Oh, well, that's. Yeah, as long as they don't mind, I don't mind.
But some have. I've had to buy off the assault charge.
Ooh, well.
Wait, when was this?
Yes, I don't know actually, but
that was a while back.
So
But
I don't need you in a stupor.
well, then you can just ignore me because I'm planning on being stupified, stuperated, something like that.
no.
Jinx, you're in charge of her. You deal with the assault charge if it gets brought up.
I'm not going to assault anybody.
And
Yeah, that's what you said that one time when that lady said, "No, thank you, I don't want any," and you just kept on going and jumping on her and trying to. And she was like, "Where's the officers?" Cost me 2 damn gold.
So I take 2 gold out of my pouch and I throw it at the hole. And then I signal the waitress for another tank, and at this point I'm done.
Dude. So
Woohoo! I got a free 2 gold.
So do any of you go up to the job board to see? Because well, you don't really have to because you've each just got paid from this. You've got some money for now, as it were. And there are 2 bards in the group. The 2 of you could do a duet and try to make money that way.
I didn't know there was a. Oh, hi.
So, so the waitress brings your tankard of ale over and says, "What have you guys been up to since I saw you a couple nights ago?"
Oh, you won't believe what we've been up to last week. It's been wild.
Yeah, we run into a bit of a situation with a mission we were on and took a bit of a sideways jog.
Things do get strange around here sometimes.
Yes, especially when you're dealing with all the politicky sort of things that go on in the palace, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you gotta remember, they're incredibly bored in there. They have nothing else to do. But,
Oh, there no jousting? Is there no hunts?
nope.
Really? Well, no wonder they're so bored.
How have you been in the past couple of days?
I'm doing all right. Just doing the normal work thing. Yeah, the whole town's gossiping about the princess. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Starting to think that Canomir's a bit of a problem in general. First their emissary gets killed, and now their princess gets poisoned or whatever.
Yeah, something like. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, who knows? Someone here maybe even working with someone in Canamere to set all this in motion. We don't really know what's going on at this point, honestly.
Uh, princesses shouldn't go adventuring. It never turned out well.
Well, she wasn't really adventuring. She was supposed to be an emissary, to go to a little meeting or whatever. But that didn't turn out too well either, I guess.
Yeah. The emissary from Erdmore and Gelborn are still meeting with each other.
Oh, the other emissaries. Oh, bloody hell. Do you think one of them could be behind all this? For some
Could be.
reason.
I don't know what one of the other emissary, unless
She-
one of them wants to start another war.
The waitress is like, well, I don't know anything about that. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Well, rumors are good. Usually there's a hint of truth between them.
I don't know what the other two of them are gonna do if the princess doesn't wake up soon. But
I just hope they don't send us to fetch another emissary, because that seemed to not work out too great.
Yeah, I think we kind of wore out our welcome down there.
She looks at you and goes, "That you're talking about Canamere. That's not hard to do."
Yeah. I mean, we didn't really have any issues there, but all the other kind of Marians, I guess they would be called, didn't seem to think too highly of their monarchy.
No.
By the sounds of it, they kind of might be revolting in a couple of months.
No.
Yeah, they're not revolting right now.
That depends on how much worse it gets. She's like, well, you guys know how long you're gonna be in town?
Not at this point, no.
Oh, I think we're going to stay in town until this all blows over.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's going to take, so I guess for now we'll be in town. So I guess we'll be seeing each other a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, just ask her out on a date. I can see it in your eyes. You do want to go out, go out.
Well, the way that Anna's set up, they don't really have to. She can do what she did a couple nights ago.
Oh, it's one of those types of means.
So, does do anything other than what you just said, or what?
No, not at this point, no. But I am going to ask for another tank.
Well, she's like, I can do that. I'll be right back with it. And she heads off to the bar. So,
Bloody hell, Jinx, really?
What? I thought that you two might be a cute couple. I thought maybe you might want to go out and
Well,
have a little
yeah,
time on
no.
town.
yeah,
Yeah, you know, how
She
we
is rather
back.
sweet, and I do like fire gelassiers. They're very warm.
Well, go on and ask her. The worst she's going to say is no. Most she's going to say is yes.
so by the time you guys are done with lunch, it's, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon by now. So what are you guys gonna do with the rest of your evening?
Well, I'm going to keep tuning my loop. And I'm sorry, guys. I might have to call it right now. I'm about to fall asleep again.
Uh, actually, we're just roughly at the 2-hour mark, so
Hmm.
we would be wrapping it up about now anyway.
Right.
So um, we'll just say that you guys spent the rest of your day hanging out in your rooms in the hotel in the end, and so Jinx is tuning his lute. Kenna is having ale and debating whether to make another gesture toward her favorite fire genasi. What is LaFall doing?
Um, just sitting back and just relaxing, watching.
Okay. So,
Just waiting.
you're just trying to see the next thing that happens.
Yep.
So, okay. We'll call it there for this game, and next time we'll continue to see if the princess gets any better and what happens from there. Uh, I hope you guys had fun.
Oh, I had a blast.
Always.
And we hope anybody that sees it out there on YouTube has fun trying to figure it out as much as these three are.
Good night, everybody.
And
Night.
yeah, um, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And next week will be vampire, and I buy all of Robin's books because. And you said you're working on the next one, so look out for that. Uh, I'm in process of coming up with a Easter Call of Cthulhu. Haven't got very far on that yet, but I will. then and if you're more the podcast type, check out our podcast. It's on Anchor and Spotify and just about everywhere. So, and I think that's all I've got. So, I'll get this up within 48 hours, and we'll see you next week for Vampire.
See you next time.
So.